Okay, hello everyone. So yesterday I started this battery pack build. By the end of the day I run into a problem, a wee glitch. So one of the cells was placed in the wrong position. Well, back to front. But no, actually it was a different colour cell. So one of the cells was mixed up. Anyway, it's all fixed now and ready to go. But after that I had other issues. So I mixed up a sale because I was rushing. I was meant to finish the live stream at around 5:30, but I think it run on to 6:15, and I made a wee mess. But it's sorted now anyway and ready to rock. But after that, I decided to go a run on the van over the road, and the van I put it into the ditch. So I pulled in for a car, two cars. And because of the snow, I didn't see a big hole in the side of the road, and the van went clean into the ditch. I had to go to the house and get tools and all, get her jacked up and get her on the road again. So thanks to a neighbour, a kind neighbour of mine, very hard come by, stopped to help me. So thanks, Jillian. We're all sorted anyway. The van is on the road again once the snow vanishes. So I'm going to get started here now anyway. I'm going to get the 4K camera set up. So here we have the configuration as discussed before. And the illustrations in the background of the cells contained within the bike frame. So the capsule basically mimics the bike frame, keeping the cells nicely placed and positioned. So hopefully that live stream is in a good position there. The 4K camera sitting beside us, so I have to leave a wee bit of room for it. So we're going to start off exactly where I was at yesterday, and I'm not going to mess about here today. I'm just going to get onto it. If I can find the glue. So the glue that I'm using, as mentioned on the 3 live streams yesterday, when I started this, is an epoxy glue, high temperature glue. Okay, so I made a wee mess up here, but it's all fixed now. Just down to rushing, you know, things happen. Okay, so I'm just setting up the other camera here. So going back to yesterday, right, just before I start the other yak, here we have the colours that correspond to the wrap on the cells. So if we go back to, would I bring the phone up close here? If we go back to the illustrations that I've created, these images of the bike with the cells contained or placed within the bike frame, we have purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange, and that corresponds to this. So first string starting here, second string purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange. The pack runs uphill and then runs downhill with a series connection at this point. So between this copper buzz bar and the copper buzz bar on the other side, the other battery bank, which is this one. So at the other side of this pack we'll have copper buzz bar just around these purple cells. So that's a series connection to this point. Okay, at the minute I have the 2 banks facing us on this side to match the capsule. Okay, so I'm gonna get started here. So let's just get a wee look at this camera. Perfect. I'll get the cells into view too if I can, without. So going back to this sheet of paper, right? We have black corresponds with purple, yellow, yellow, green and orange. So just remember that when I'm talking here, when I'm giving the discussion, because if you didn't know this, things would be confusing. So let me just get back to on track here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just started the 6th string. Everything in the capsule at the minute is glued, okay? Professionally, of course. Right, I've got my pencil ready. You'll see what that's for in a moment. And we're ready to rock here. Oh dear. So I'll try and get the capsule fully in here onto view. The cells are sitting to the left there, so we have green, yellow and black. I'm just trying to leave room for the 4K here. Never worry about them green cells, that's just the standard film on the cell. These ones are dual film. Okay? So first string, black, which corresponds to purple on my configuration. Yellow is the second string, which corresponds to yellow on the configuration, the plans. Green, remember I'm using green, which matches orange. So just think of the Irish flag when it comes to the green, so you don't get mixed up. So the green in the capsule should be orange, and the black should be purple. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So yesterday I made a wee blip here, but it's, as I've mentioned at the start of the live stream, it's fixed now. So I was rushing, I went out, and I rushed even more and put the van in the hedge. So it wasn't a great day now, to be honest. So I'm going to take this plan off the computer and we're going to work with this because we're starting. So this is the right bank. So there's two banks, two matching banks, two matching with regards to the cell placement. But when it comes to the copper buzz bar, it's basically like having the two packs. The copper buzz bars will be at the opposite side, so much like a mirror image. If you can imagine an insulator up the middle of the bike, the copper buzz bars at this side will be the same at your left leg, and this is your right leg. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So this is where the terminal will be taken off this pack, negative terminal. So negative poles facing out here on these 10 cells. So 10 cells in each group, 20 in series, gives us 72 volts, 84 volts. Maximum, what's that there? Look, I've got epoxy on this. I can get it off. Let me see. See, that was the Russian yesterday. But did this pick off, hopefully? Without scratching the cell. There we go. Doesn't even scratch it. Right. So no mess ups today, hopefully. So usually when you're doing work like this, you need to be take your time and all that. But there's leaking there, look everywhere. So I'm gonna have to use a sheet of paper here. Hold on. It's leaking all over the bench, and I need this bench tomorrow for my research. So tomorrow I'll get back to my research, and I'll have to step away from the projects. First time in a long time back to the research. So we'll set this over here now. It's going to leak everywhere. I don't know why it's leaking. So see this? Look, it's lovely and soft because I have it sitting against the heater. Right, I'm going to start the 4K up here. Hopefully that view's good enough for you there. I'll turn the capsule around a wee bit so you can see for the genuine. So everything's in view there. So I don't think we had that yesterday. So we have the configuration. So this is the left. Just say the banks. The configuration's the same. This bank and the right bank. So if you look what I'm doing here now, I'm working on these two strings here, yellow and orange, which is yellow and green. Okay. So 4K. Once the 4K starts, I start. Thanks for watching, everyone, on this Sunday afternoon. So as soon as I have this live stream done, I'm going out to play in the snow. 4K is now running, everyone, so I'm just going to give a wee quick discussion here, and then I'm going to start onto this. Okay, so today I am following on here with this battery pack. Yesterday I made a wee mess up with one of these cells. I think it might have been this one. Made a mess up due to rushing, so the live stream ran on a wee bit long and I was just rushing, and I probably should have stopped as mentioned in that live stream. So anyway, I'm going to continue here now anyway. So here is the plans from yesterday and from all the live streams. The configuration set here to the pack, which is the 10 parallel grips, 20 strings, or 20 cell grips. Then we have the other part of the pack. So this is bank number 2, seen over here on this display, this computer display. We're going to look at this one for this live stream. So this is live stream part 8. So the capsule was a project that was built for this project, for this demonstration, and obviously to have a nice neat pack. So basically what the capsule does is it mimics the bike frame, but it keeps the cells nice and perpendicular to this 3mm plate at the back. This plate here is 1mm, I think it might be 0.9 actually. This sheet here, and this part is also 0.9. So a template was made first. I'm not going to waffle too much here, but a template was made first to match the bike behind me. Then I tweeted this 3mm heavy plate to suit the bike frame, in the bike frame. So I know that this cell pack will fit precisely within my bike frame, whilst keeping the cells uniform and square on this axis. And if you can imagine the cells sitting here on this axis and on this axis. So it's like having the battery pack sitting on the bench, but keeping that specific perimeter to match the bike. Why did I not do it in the bike frame? Well, because the bike frame's round, and it's just, this is much better idea that I came up with. So anyway, I'm going to start here now. So no mess ups like yesterday. I'm going to just go straight into this. I'm not going to maybe waffle on too much here. So going back to the plans, I'm now on cell grip, this one, which is string 6. So this cell is placed in, and I can run a bead of glue along here. So remember, when I'm placing the glue on this, I want it to be nice and neat. I don't want to lager the cells. I just want that wee fine straight bead. I don't want the surface of the cell lagered. I want this perfect because I'm planning to draw air through the cells themselves, both banks, when the actual project's complete or nearly completed. So obviously the copper buzz bars need to be designed for that reason, for the air cooling, but I haven't got that stage yet, so just forget about that for the moment. So I'm going to start gluing here now. So the glue is warm. I think it's up to about maybe 25 degrees. It's sitting in front of a heater there. So it's a 2-pack epoxy. And hopefully I get the knack back that I had yesterday here. I'm doing this. So no mess ups today. We're just going to look at this again. So string 6 has 2 cells this way, which is right. And then this next cell is going to be, what do we see, what colour we are? We're on green. So green corresponds with orange. So I need a black now. And that black will have the negative pole facing out. So yellow, orange, purple. Yellow, orange, purple. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So that cell can stay in there now. So it sort of assists me from placing a green cell in there, like, because it can easily be done. You know what I mean? Because you're looking at this, seeing 3 here. Just to point out, I have configured this to the best possible way so that the current that I require from the pack, I have sufficient copper across the buzz bars So just to point that out, I'm not going to waffle too much about that, but I'm just going to start here now. So I just want to confirm this to get back on track. So string 5, string 6, when we go back to the drawing, yes, that's purple. And then we're going to string 7, which is black, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to place another black on here. I'm not going to glue these, they're acting as weights. So when I'm building these cells within this pack, I'm trying to keep, in this capsule, I'm trying to keep them level, so there's no misalignment between the cells. Because if you imagine now, if I glue here, look, and this glue tends to cure, more likely the cell will, once the glue contracts, the cell might want to come this way, this direction, okay, because I've only glued this side. If you imagine it drying out, so hopefully that makes sense. And another reason, it's better to have the head weight equal pushing down. Just imagine, as I mentioned yesterday, this filling up of water. We want the cells equally placed within the pack. So here we go. I'm not going to glue this one, they're only there for pressure and to keep me from going wrong, making any mess ups. And just to point out again, this is not as easy as building a pack with spacers. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just squeeze that out and remove the air first. We want a nice clear bead, we don't want any wee air pockets. So we've got a dirty rag and we've got a clean rag. We'll get into that in a moment. So here we go. So I want a wee fine bead on this, not too thick. Keeping the epoxy about 5mm or 10mm away from the end of the cell. So just pulling it there back. Pulling back on this because this leaks like silicone if you don't. All over the place. So yesterday, after I had the glue applied, I was basically running my finger or the rag along with 5PA. Just let me check these cells. So string 5, 2 positive polarities facing out at the bottom. Yeah. So I can now place another cell in there to push the weight on that green cell. If we look at this, I'm now working on this cell here. So I can add this cell to, once I have the glue nice and neat. The glue is neat. But, if you watched the live streams yesterday, you'll see what my problem is. Now you know what? Because that's tight, I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to leave it. It's running smooth. You see it? Might be a wee fine bubbles in that one. They might disperse out. Just because I started the new stick there. So just let me check this live stream. Okay. Right, green cell. Positive pole facing out. No mess ups like yesterday. I'm going to remove this one. And I'm going to remove this one until I get the glue applied here. Wee bit more room. So go back to the plans. Positive pole facing out. Really important here, of course. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. So if, let's say, a wee bit of epoxy comes over the end, I just give it a wee rub, gentle rub. So that cell now is glued. I can just give it a wee turn, so there's more glue on the surface of the body of the cell, if that makes sense. So now onto this side. For some reason this side seems to be easier to glue always. Put my finger on the sail. Snapping it off so we don't let so when the glue flows like a nice smooth finish, so it'll run a wee bit out, so that's why it'll come right out to the edge. Okay, we don't want the epoxy running over now. So again, a wee bit of IPA on this rag like yesterday. I'm just going to put my finger on the sail and pull this, and it leaves perfectly straight bead. Okay, and here it already is perfect. I'll just show that on the live stream. So I don't need to put the rag in there. Like, there's an act date. It's just like applying silicone. Right, so making sure at all times to push the sails in that are only glued. So that is this one and this one since I started this live stream. So what I can do now is I can place this sail in, which is string 6, which is the purple. Remember, going back to the start of the live stream, what I explained there. So negative pole facing out. Because this gap's a wee bit tighter, because we've got the kink in the bike frame here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a wee bead, and then we're going to turn it into the sail, okay? So hopefully I'm making sense here. So we're now starting on string 6, which is this one, negative pole facing out. And this is the right bank. So I'm going to just confirm this because yesterday, as I say, I did make a mess. Remember, we're filling this like it's filling up with water. Okay, we're perfect. So what I'm going to do here now is just run this along the sail as neat as I can get it. Snap it away from it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the sail down to meet string 5. Right, that's it. Pushing the sail tight to this back wall, which is a 3mm plate. 3mm plate because it's to avoid, if you can imagine, if it was a thin plate on the capsule, it would be more likely warped with the welding of the capsule. I'll just point out this before going further, this 3mm plate is not welded directly to the capsule. The capsule is made out of 0.9mm stainless, and this 3mm plate is stuck with double-sided tape to the back wall of the capsule. Do get a look at my channel and you'll see the building of this in detail. I go through all the steps in detail and fine detail like I'm doing here. So now I can move on to this sail, which is string 6, and that is a purple sail. So remember, going back to the early plans, so this here, I have set black to purple, yellow to yellow, and green to orange because that's the colours that I have. So the green, as I say, is orange on the plans, and purple is black. So what I can do here now is I can glue this sail, but I'm going to add a bit of weight for this sail that I just glued. And I just want to make sure the glue is perfect because I turned it into it. It is perfect. So the sail that I require now is orange. Okay, so if you look here, you could get mixed up very handy. Like yesterday, I could start putting a black sail in here, but that's no good because we need 10 sails in a group in this arrangement that I have on these plans. So what I need now is a green sail, because remember, green corresponds to orange in my plans here. Well, on this here, which I have set out, as mentioned. So see these lovely gaps that I've got going up the middle here? Them gaps is important for the design of my pack and the placement of the glue, the fine little fit. You seen how strong it was yesterday when it set? I couldn't even get the sail off. Snapped the ruler and everything. So plastic ruler, of course. So we're going to glue this one now at this side. I'm going to take the sail out for the meantime. No mix-ups today. So positive pole facing out here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy. So starting about, maybe about not even 5 mil. It's probably about, I don't know, 8 mil away from the end. The last bit, just snap it away. So that's perfect at that side. I don't even need to put the rag near it, you know, I don't even know why I'm doing it. Let's say if I do a bad run here. So at this side now, string 5 to string 6. So a wee bit went over the edge there, so I'm going to use the clean rag, which is this microfiber rag. And I'm just going to get the APA and just give this sail a little clean. And I'm also going to snap this rag, this dirty rag I call it. It's not dirty, but you know, it's for running across the epoxy. So APA on the rag, and I'm just going to, without pulling the black sail out, because it's only glued, remember? There we have the epoxy on that, just to remove so we don't have too much on it. So again, I'm going back to this clean rag. Right, before I go any further here, I'm not going to get mixed up like yesterday, I'm just going to confirm this. I'm going to place this black sail back into position. That needs to be glued and turned downhill because the gap is getting tighter because of this bend, okay? So it's sort of, they're changing position. So rather than it being like a square, it's becoming a rectangle. And it's keeping the same area, if you can imagine. So, as I mentioned, the holes are important. Especially in the center of the pack here. Okay, so if you imagine if I was building this pack in a way that the sails was like this, there's not much gap between them, is there? Okay, so I'm just going to confirm here that there is nice and neat, that everything's perfect there, the only thing needs done. So just to point out too, each sail is more like, if you can imagine, this sail is glued in 2 places. The next sail sitting on top of it is glued in another place. So basically each sail is glued in 4 places. So it's very, very strong. Very strong. And the epoxy glue is not like hot glue, you know, it's much more durable and stronger. And it can withstand high temperature of 125 degrees. So what I done yesterday, right? I just want to let me check this first because there's no mess ups today. We can't have this on a Sunday. So the next sail that I'm going to place in here is the green one, which is, hold on to get this right. Am I right? Yeah. So the green sail here, where orange. Remember, I don't have orange film. Think of the Irish flag, Ireland. So green, orange. So I'm placing a green in here where the orange is, with the positive pole facing out, like so. See the size of the gap here? It's nice and big. Nice and big here too, but because it's kinked here, the gap's starting to change dimensions. So another thing to point out here, you see now that this gap's changed dimensions, is much more like a rectangle rather than a square. What I'd be better to do than try to get this in to get a nice bead, I'm going to run the glue along the top of the sail, turn the sail down into the cell number 5 or whatever. So here we go. Remember, positive pole facing out, and this is string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is grip 6 on that bank and this bank. So this room is really warm because I need it warm in order to keep this glue running, because it's 0 degrees or -1 outside. So see how neat I have that bead there. When I run this now, when I turn this cell down into the cell underneath it, it'll run smooth. I just have to put my head on here a minute. Just give it a couple of wee turns, okay? Slight moving it millimeters. And it sort of makes the glue run on a concave effect rather than sitting like a bead of silicone. So now what I'm going to do is just going to basically tap the cells till they're tight to this back wall, which is a 3mm plate, keeping the cells level as we go up the capsule. So this cell's not glued yet, because I can get on here for some reason. You know, because the thing's starting to come back around to a nice straight surface. Okay? So the kinks down here, so the gaps tend to tighten here, but it's starting to come back to itself. So the glue I'm using is a high epoxy resin, or sorry, high temperature epoxy type glue. So I just want to confirm this before I go any further here. We don't want any mess ups, because this will be a nightmare to get apart again. The film would be destroyed on the cells, by the way, just to point that out. So as the glue sets, I'm going to be tapping the cells to the back wall. Why? Well, remember I have to glue the side yet. Why? Because do you see the cells themselves? They've got the double shrink, so I've added an additional layer of shrink for protection here. So rather than using just the manufacturer film, I've doubled up so that the cell grips are isolated from each other. Another thing I want to point out here, to see when this wrap comes over the corner of the cell, over the edge, it doesn't tend to sit flat to the cell. As you can imagine, when this is heated, it sort of sits up a wee bit. So as the glue cures, or when I take a break for the next live stream, I load this with cells, not glued, on top of these ones to add weight, and I tap them in tight to this back panel. So I'm going to glue this cell, move on to this, which is string number 7, which is down here. So this bank, we're over three quarters of the way here. Just about. We're over 60% anyway. So thanks for watching, everyone. So best thing to do here is always keep the finger, point the index finger on the cell. Try not to use the rag too much here, because you can't get in sometimes. Snap it at the end so it's not running over the end. So that cell now is perfectly in position and glued. If that bead I put on there now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. Thank you very much, and you'll see this project evolve and other projects on my channel. I really appreciate it. I do. Right. So tapping the cell to the back wall as we go. This cell now needs glued. Remember, I'm gluing the cell on both sides as I move up the capsule. Just want to point out, again, for the people that jumped on, I'm going to be gluing the cell like this and moving it down into the cell underneath it, because I can get in, but sometimes this is much better, you know. So a nice even bead, not too thick, because you don't want to go in there with the rag. You can't get my finger in, because my finger is the size of the end of a club hammer. So as I go here, I just like to clean the cell. We want the glue nice and neat with a nice wee bead, and I'm just going to turn it down. Remember, black corresponds to purple here. Turn it down into the cell underneath it until we see that bead looking like it was just placed on with the applicator. So it looks concave, and that's perfect. So we'll sail underneath it, just give it a wee tap in, and this one as we go. You can see it springing in there and staying, because that's the glue setting. That's what takes the glue 5 minutes to set here. So now if you look at this pack, you'd think the best place to put the next cell is here, which would be true. So let me go back to that is group parallel branch. What do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. Black, which is purple, corresponds to purple. So that is here on the plans. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me get this right. No, you see that's where you can go wrong. It's yellow that's required for here. You see what I mean? I nearly went wrong there. So that's why I'm just taking my time today, because I don't want the van on today. So we put the van on the page yesterday after this live stream. Right, so this time I'm going to just place the glue on the cell nice and even. So the reason this glue is not going off on the applicator is because it's moving. It's not sitting in the one spot. And just to point out here, you can probably tell the negative pole of the cell's facing out, which it should be in that pack. So moving the glue, bring this up close, freeze. So hopefully it stays in focus. See the glue here now? I'm running it down, right? Until I meet the cell underneath. It's going out of focus, isn't it? See, it's very hard for you to see. So the best thing for me to do is put the cell in position. Yeah, you're right. Florida votes 2 layers. I'll show you in a wee minute. Just let me what cell was that there? Yellow. Hold on. Just make sure this glue's nice and neat. There we go. So just turning it to see it run a nice straight line. So now at the side, pushing down on the cell with my finger here, my thumb. So that, there we have it. I'm going to try and get in with the rag on this one. It's grand. Anybody else would be happy with it, but in my head, it's just telling me clean it. So if you're using the pencil here, just sort of cutting the edge off the epoxy. Very hard to get in. Here, it's perfect. I don't even know why I'm doing it. Right, so again, just tapping the cells till they're tight to the back wall as the glue sets. Okay, so the next cell I'm going to place into this pack is black on the right hand side here. So grip number, is it 7? Yeah, string 7, black cell in position. So I'm going to work this way now, okay? So I just want to confirm this first. See here, this is where I'm at. Where's the pencil? So I'm at here now, I'm at this cell. So this parallel branch moves up double the width of others, sort of. So see where it's 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and these ones is 1, 2. So this is correct. Yesterday with the rush job, it was a wee bit muddled. Remember, negative pole facing out here. Finger on the sail. A nice even bead. So, obviously, because I'm running a live stream here, things can go wrong. Well, at the end of the day, I'm gluing 100 cells in a pack in a honeycomb effect way, and things can go wrong, like, especially when I'm talking too much. But I'm trying to explain, you know. People jumping on doesn't have a clue what I'm doing. So snapping it away about maybe 8 mil away from the end of the cell, because the glue will run smooth as it cures. Okay, take a wee break here a minute with the 4K. Okay everyone, staying on live stream. So, I just want to show that last cell that I glued there. So, you could have these cells glued on much rougher than what I'm doing, but that's not me. That's not me. And if you see the projects on my channel, you will be able to, you'll be able to tell that. So far, I just want to give a wee discussion here for Florida votes, because probably knows what I'm talking about anyway. But so here is my right bank, because he mentioned there, what did I say? You must be planning to build 2 layers. Yeah, so here's one bank and here's the left bank. So how do we see if I get this right? This is the left hand side. So this is where your leg would be on the bike. Left leg. And this is the right hand side. So if you can imagine the 2 banks placed together like this, and then we'll have a series connection here linking this 36 volt pack to this 36 volt pack. The positive polarity, 72 volts or 84 volts, is at this point terminal, and 0 volts on here where we're at now at the minute. So when I come to this side, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to stick this back up and move on. Start the 4K again here. So another way I could show this to you is there's the configuration set for the pack, with the dotted line down the middle resembling an insulator. So I'm going to keep her lit. I'm going to try and raise these cells to here in this live stream without making a mess. 4K started up again. I don't know much memories left in this. Okay. So now back on to string number 6, which is a green cell. Positive pole facing out. So the other pack I might build off live stream. And I might actually do it no talking on it, so I can just move on and use the video for the main video that will come on my channel. And we're going to do this side too. Can I get on? See, I've done this wrong. Can get in anyway, but just about. Got on, luckily. Need to make sure in the future that I don't do that again. Just see the way the gap's down to about 8 mil here. Just because the cells is turning at this point. It's alright, I know I'm not going to worry about it. It's perfectly straight, but I'm not going to put myself through that again. See, if I put too much pressure on this cell, it's just glued. It'll come out of position. So as I go here, I just clean the pole of the battery. Just to make sure there's no epoxy on them. Or glue. Did I glue that one? I did. So each cell's glued at two sides. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a bit of weight to the top here. So that will be another, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. That will be a green cell which corresponds to orange on the configuration seen in the background there. So positive pole facing out. And as I go here, let me just look at these as glued. Yeah, they are. I like to tap the cells to the back wall. They do move in. They were done yesterday. I think that was done yesterday too. That's not glued. Right, okay, it's just acting as a weight at the minute. So what I'm going to do now is going to move on to this one, which is a yellow cell. So just, that corresponds to the drawing. I think a string, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative pole facing out, making sure that the cells underneath are glued at both sides. So I'm going to glue the awkward side this time. What I'm going to do is, rather than try and place the nozzle in, what I see I might get on. No, I'm going to do it to make life easy for myself. I'm just going to put the bead on here and run it down on hill. Okay, so we're roughly about 10 mil away from the edge of that one, but it's alright. It's alright, so just run it down there. These are nice concave effect, and then as the glue cures, it will run smooth itself, and it will run 5 mil this way, both ways. So now moving on to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is the final cell in group number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or string 4. Okay? So it's perfect. So this time we've got a big gap at both sides, so I don't need to worry about placing the glue onto the body of the cell. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. Right, now I can do this side, but remember keeping the finger, the index finger, on the wiping the end of the nozzle first. You don't want the glue over the rest of the cell here. Snap it away from the end. So that's that pack complete up to this point. Okay? 10 cells here, 10 cells here. Purple, yellow, orange. Purple, yellow, orange. And I'll just demonstrate what I've done there with that bead. Don't even need to rub it. So again, I appreciate he's watching there. I know it's Sunday and all that. Not working, it's a hobby. Yeah. That's my excuse. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yay! Final. That's the final cell of that grip. Was it in the right place? It is. Okay, so that's grand. We can get our glued. Remember, negative pole facing out. So the reason I'm using the capsule here is to make the most out of the area within the frame of the bike. Hence why I haven't used a square battery here. So I want a large capacity battery for my build. Do get a look at my channel. There's really interesting projects like this one. Things done differently. Snapper from the end. We're going to do this side. Probably should have put the sail, should have worked the way this was going to work, but I got carried away myself to finish the string. There will be a big gap there anyway. I know we're looking at the sail, the way it's sitting. Snap it away from the end. So just to point out, the limit within the pack. So I didn't want the sails protruding or extending up past the edge of this plate because that's my boundary. Okay, that is my boundary of the capsule. So I'm happy that that sail's down 3mm below it, where it's meant to be. Can we stop the 4K a wee minute here? Going to take a wee break and get a drink of water. So I'm just going to push down on these sails. This one's not glued, is it? Is it glued? No, it's not glued. It's sitting on there as a weight. So I'm okay with this next one. So I should probably put that back in because the 4K is not running. Right, I'm going to take a wee break and get a drink of water here. As I say, this room's roasting. Needs to be warm. I don't know what that means. But right, okay. Don't make any mistakes, Jeffrey. So I have to start this camera. Okay, so I'm moving further up the pack here. So before I place the next sails in here, I just need to make sure that these sails is glued, and I also need to make sure that I clean the end of this pencil. I need to make sure that these sails are tight to the back wall. This one's not glued yet, so I'll take it out. Tap these ones to the back wall. Make sure the glue's nice and neat, which it is. And then I'm going to... So string number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is complete. We're now going to work on string number 6. Is it? Yeah, 6. So green corresponds to orange, remember that? So what I can do here is just place the sail in with positive pole facing out, because remember, in the... What do we see here? In the plan, string 6 and 7 is connected to each other. 1, 2, 3 at this side. 4, 5. So you imagine a copper plate around here. So these sails need to be in the right position. I'm not going to talk about connections yet because I want to confuse things. So working from now, we're going up here, so we're getting closer to finishing this pack. I'm definitely over halfway because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is halfway, this yellow string. We're now about nearly 60%. So is that right before I do anything further? Yes. I can also place another sail on there, I think there's enough room. There is. But for the meantime, let's glue this side here. Snap it from the end, so you don't want the glue running over the end. And snap it because it keeps running out of this. So the cells are looking perfectly parallel to each other. They are looking so good, as if they were sat on a bench, but keeping the unique shape of the bike frame here. So again, we want a nice neat bead. Not too much. Snapping it from the end, pulling back on the nozzle. Okay, so that is cell number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is cell number 9 now. So let's go back to the plans just to make sure we're okay here. So if we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, string 6, which is here, the orange corresponds to the green. The final cell will be this one. And that needs to be below the boundary seen here at this point, which it will be. So positive pole facing out, and I'm going to just put this nozzle on and put my finger on the cell. Is that the right cell? It is. Because I have another green here. I have the standard film, you see. The eyes are deceiving me there for a minute. I think I need to take a break, that's just wrong now. Okay, so that's perfect. So the glue is lovely and neat. See if I look through here, you see nothing but just gap because the glue is so fine. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. Right, so this side of the cell now. So this is only one of the projects that I would do. I would do lots of mechanical, electrical projects, resin, fabrication, every type of projects that you could think of. There's actually a smart glove sitting here. I'll put that on my channel in the future, but not at the minute. Too much going on. So that cell number 9 is glued in string number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The final cell in that group is this one, which sits below the boundary here where I want it. So that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Get the pencil. Make sure I need glue on the end of it. And we're just going to tap the cells to the plate at the back. This is not glue. I'll glue that now. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to add weight. So remember, positive pole facing out on this string, this grip. So the glue is really strong, as demonstrated yesterday. So let's say I made a mistake here now. Well, I'm not going to say there's no going back, but it's a bit of a mess. It would be a bit of a mess. Perfect. So that is the final cell in grip 6. So see now, when I'm at this point, remember up to this point is finished. So what I need to do now, if you look here, I'm going to start building this as if it's filling with water. At this point, so rising up. So continuing on with grip number 7 and 6. No, 6 is completed. So grip number 7 now, I think. Yes. I hope this is right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. That's right. That shouldn't be on there, should it? No, it shouldn't. So I had that on there for a weight, did I? So that is perfect, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit it with a wee bit of IPA. Okay, everyone, so we are doing so well today. I hope we are, anyway. It looks right, anyway. Make sure I'm not in the way of the camera here, so... That is perfect today. Okay, so moving on to the next cell here. I'm going to raise it to maybe here and then stop. Do another live stream another day. So negative pole facing out. I've changed my mind here on the way I'm going to glue this. Going to glue it and run it downhill. See, the problem is, see the cell that my finger's sitting on? That's only been glued. And if I was to rest my hand on it, it would pull out. You know what I mean? This one's only been glued. If I used to use it as a guide, I'm only asking for bother. Right, so running this glue downhill into the cell, number 3 of that string. So that's perfect there now, it will run smooth. Keeping the cell tight this way. Perfect. So now I'm going to keep her lit, because if I keep her lit, we're adding weight here. Remember, you want the cells to mesh to match the capsule. They are matching it, but you know what I mean? The more weight, whilst the glue sets, the better, isn't that right? So keeping this level as if it's filling with water to this point, and then I'm going to stop and get something to eat. So thanks for watching, everyone. I do really appreciate it. I know it's a Sunday and all that. But this is just a hobby project for myself. Might do another live stream in a wee while, because I don't think I'm able to go anywhere in the snow. As I say, yesterday I put the van in the ditch. So see, this glue here is not running straight. I'll just straighten it before I turn it into the... This is being fussy like. So that glue's now running straight. So keeping it away from the end of the sail too. We don't want it at the end of the sail. We don't want it near the, what do you call it? The plate either, for that matter. So there we have it. 10mm from the edge, and we're going to place it in to the pack, and we're going to turn it downhill without me touching the glue, and we're going to watch it looking like a concave. Perfect. So as the glue sets, it will flow even better. So I can now get on here with the nozzle at the side. I could have got on that side, but it's just made easier, isn't it? I'm making everything easy today because I made everything hard for myself yesterday. Snap it away from the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean the end of them cells. Keeping pressure on them. Remember, these ones is only glued too. So making sure the glue runs smooth, and then we're going to apply or place another cell into position. I'm going to do this exact same thing again. I'm going to put the glue on it and turn it downhill. I could get in, but let's say that I wiggle or shake and I won't be able to get on my rag. So this is far later. I don't think I would wiggle or shake, but you know, it's just to make sure, keep the video nice and fast here and no handles. Back on the glue again because it's running out. Okay, taking that cell straight down now into the one below it. Cell number 5 of that string. I think it's string 7, is it? Watching the glue run smooth. Perfect. So let's just go back to the plans before we go any further here. So I should have 4 cells in string 7, which is the purple. Remember, the purple corresponds to the black. The orange corresponds to the green because I don't have any orange wrap or purple, pink. That's actually pink, what I'm talking about. So, yeah, we're going to keep her lit here because she's going well today here. I said that yesterday, but nothing happened. So, black cell number 7. I'm going to glue it first, Emma. Put that one on first. So remember, if we look at this, we've got 4, we've got 3. And remember, for anyone that just jumped on, this capsule mimics my bike frame to very high precision. So what you see in this plan is what you see in this capsule. So there's 2 banks. This is bank number 1. The other bank, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on a live stream because I've done this one on a live stream. And I've really went into depth on the process here. So I don't need a rag for that side because it's lovely and clean. Now you go into this side. Remember here, the negative pole is facing out. So why is there a different colour configuration here? Well, it's not so much to aid the process, even though it works. From day one, I always wanted to have an extra layer of protection between the cell grips. And the only way I could do that is this way. So obviously, let's say this is 2 different grips here, right? So if I was to go with this, let's say this here was one cell grip and this was the other. This is the factory film, the wrap. So there's only one single layer. What I've got done here, I think I've done it on live stream, what was it, 4 or something? I coated the cells and I could have used the same colour, but because of the complex battery that I'm building here, I thought it would benefit me just to use the 3 different colours seen there. Even though, you know, one's purple, one's orange. It's working well, isn't it? So I'm just getting a look at this glue, the cell. Okay, I'm going to give it a wee rub. So once I get to another maybe 4 cells, I might stop. So last night I done this and I made a mess up of a cell down here. Due to rushing. I was obviously panicking, wasn't it? So string 7, and that is cell number 8, is it? Yeah. So I can glue that into position now. And remember, if we go back to these plans, this is the cell that I just placed in, this funny looking colour one, because it was marked wrong in this illustration. But remember, when the capsule sits vertical, like this, or when the capsule sits the way it's meant to sit, the way the bike sits, with regards to gravity or whatever, these cells run perpendicular off this bench or to the sky. Yeah, so if you look, straight line, so we know everything's going as it should do up until this point. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'd be better now. See, because this gap's smaller at the side, I'd be better to do this side first. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put the bead of glue onto the sail, just because it's a wee bit tighter. And I'm going to watch I don't pull out the sail underneath my hands here. Okay, we're going to turn this downhill now. If I get my hand on here a minute. Perfect. Okay, remember each sail that I do here, better tapping them to this plate. Looks so good. Okay, next sail. Just let me check the glue. I've done that one already, so that's perfect. So sail number 9. Okay, well, that's wrong. See what I mean? Did you see what I done there? You can slip up. I'm telling you. You can slip up. So see 4 sails. Hopefully I haven't slipped up. 4 and 4 and 2. So that is sail number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is sail number 9. But if you can imagine, I have nothing to hold this sail. Sail number 10 and string 7. So I have to now work on these, which is string number 8, which is yellow. So we're not going to get mixed up now, I think, because we've got to the point, I'm going to call it the bottleneck, because if you can imagine it's getting smaller here. Snapping the glue away from it, 10 mil away from the end. So this is sail number 9. And hopefully I've got the negative pole facing out there. I'll get a look in a minute. Glue's coming to an end too. It's done. Nearly done. So I'm going to clean that one. Just because I had a wee bit too much on it. I'm also going to go in for the kill. I'm going to go and clean the one below it too. I've already done it, but... So that is unreal. I'm going to bring the live stream up in a moment. A close up for those interested. So again, I like to clean the terminals as I go here, or the end of the sails. So remember, string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is complete. This string is 90% complete because there's 9 sails in it. So I'm really far on with this pack, and the rest should be really easy. Okay, I'm going to take a wee break, stop the 4K. Going to bring a live stream up close here for you. So there you have the glue, looking nice and neat. Don't worry about the dust, that's only coming off that rag. This is all dry, so I'm not worried about anything here up at this point. So last night I put a bag over this when it was curing because I didn't want any dust on the room falling on the epoxy. So that's how fussy I am. So see there, let me get a look here. It's alright, it's perfect. I give the bottom man a wee wipe, but I'm not going to bother, it'll run smooth. It is good, but you know what I mean. Right, so on to yellow. Yellow. So the yellow is string number 8, so I need to now have the positive poles all facing out. So obviously I can only start at one cell here. I can't get in with the nozzle, so I'm just going to check there's no air in this because there was air coming out of it. Snowing outside. I think, oh no, the pencil's covered. I have to take this out to start the 4K, hold on, bear with me. Remember tapping, because the shrink wrap's not perfectly flat at the end of the cells. Or the wrap. See what I mean? Look, see the way it springs out. It will set, but in a wee minute, and I can keep pushing it on. Some jam, isn't it? Right, let's start the 4K. Drink of water here. Just gonna move this back a wee touch. The light stains a better view in the 4K at the minute. Two seconds, I'm going to start again here, I'm just setting up this 4K. Okay, so on to string number 8, which has the yellow wrap. So positive pole, positive polarity facing out. So we're ready to rock here. The glue stick is nearly done. So this time I'm going to place the glue on the cell, and we're going to turn it down into string number 7. Just because it's a wee bit tighter there. So, as you can see from the top where I've applied that glue, it's not evenly dispersed because the glue thing, there was air in it, and I've moved it, so just striking this nice and straight, like that, and we're going to put it into position, and we're going to turn it downhill into the string below it. Perfect. So just give it a wee turn, you know, when it's in position. So that's the first cell of string number 8. We're going to motor on here now. The next best cell to put in would be that one. Remember, we're filling it as if it's filling with water. It'd be kind of stupid of me to start going this way, wouldn't it? Because as the glue cools down, as the glue cures, the cells might tend to pull this way. So I want to try and keep the weight evenly dispersed. Because remember, only one side of the cell will be glued. So as it contracts. Okay, we're going to put this on here now and turn it downhill again. This is coming to an end. So I want this bead about 3 mil wide, nice and straight. I'm happy with that one. Try not to get it on any other part of the sail. And turn it downhill into string number 7. Perfect. So I can now place the next sail in, which is going to be yellow. And I can finish off this string in a minute. String number 7 can be finished now. Because we've got somewhere to put the final sail. Yes. Again, we're going to do this the same way. I'm going to place the bead on the sail. Hopefully I've got the polarities right there. I'll check in a moment before I start rushing ahead of myself again. See if this glue comes out all bubbles, I'm going to wipe it off. Okay, everyone, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know why it's doing that. Air pockets in it now. It didn't do that yesterday. So we're just gonna lift this off here, rather than strike it off. And just remember that it's on that rag. So let me just clean this with the clean rag. So we're nearly there, and I'm going to stop soon. Another 20 minutes. So I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to run this out a minute. Now it's full of air. I don't know where the air got on that. I'll be pulling it back. I'll just go and get a new stick if I have to. Okay, so that's done. There's just pure air coming out of it for some reason. Maybe because it's half cured inside it. Right, so I've got a new one. So I don't want the air pockets, that's how fussy I am. Perfect there now. So really, I'm sitting in front of the heater. So I'm going to have to turn the sail up straight here. So I'm going to have to hit this with a rag. So they're actually better having the epoxy a wee bit thicker, you know. So see the blotch at the back of the sail? Anybody else would probably just turn that under it, but that means I'm closing up the holes. Not entirely, but... So we have a nice straight bead there now, look. And we're just going to put the sail in the position, and we're going to turn it downhill into the sail underneath. So that's it. Now you're on to the next sail. So what I'm going to do here, people, is I'm going to load this pack with, what colour will I use? I'll use yellow, right? Just to put a bit of weight on these sails. The ones that I have placed on here. I can't put a sail here. What do we see? That has to be a black sail. So you know what I'll do? I'll put the black sail in position. Why am I putting weight on it? It's just so it pushes down on the glue while it sets. Probably should have done it earlier, but you can't think of everything. So we've got this fresh stick. I'm not going to pull it back this time just in case I'm pulling the air on it. Pulling it back a wee bit the last time, you know. And okay, so I'm definitely going to need to put the rag on here. My finger first, maybe. Right, I'm just going to take these off for the video at the minute. You know, they are squished already. Right, we're going to clean this cell. We're going to move on to the yellow. Is it yellow or yellow? Is that cell in the right place? Before I go any further. It is. Is it? Yes, it is. Ooh. You see, a wee bit jukey now because of what happened yesterday. So a nice straight cut there, removing the excess, the too much glue on that cell for us. Because it's not because I'm squeezing it any harder, it's just running out now, look. It's too hot. I forgot to remove it off the heater. How silly of me. That is unreal. The glue dries as clear as lacquer with no holes in it, no bubbles if you get it right. If I went ahead there with that old stick, there would have been air pockets in it, and it just doesn't look nice. So right through this pack, the glue is perfect, even though I'm never going to see it, or nobody's going to see it. So we're cleaning these cells as we go. So this cell was glued, so it needs weight ASAP. So what I need to watch now is, well, don't really need to watch, but you know what I mean. If the dust falls on this fresh epoxy at the top. So I'm going to place another cell on it. There's a heater going behind me, I'm going to turn off. So we're now on to cell number 4 of string 8, is it? Yes. So this time I'm going to try and, hopefully this is cool enough now. So I'm going to place the glue on the cell, not at the wrap seam, but a wee bit away from it. And we're going to turn it down and hill. A wee bit this time, not too much. 3 mil wide approximate. Oh, we're going to mess. It's alright. It's okay, Jeffrey. You're too fussy. So I'm just going to turn it downhill because there's nothing wrong with it. And we're going to wax this glue. Run it nice and smooth. Like so. Okay, so I am going to put the pencil on there. I don't like that it's not even. I should have cleaned it before I put it on. Evened it up. Will the pencil even fit on there? I don't know. It won't. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll get something narrower. So I've got this piece of aluminium. Why am I doing this? Because you can see the glue's uneven. And it's the top of the pack, isn't it? Even though it'll be wrapped, but I don't know why I'm doing this. Perfect. Perfect. Telling you, put myself through some torture. Cell number 5 of string number 8. So that's because the glue is actually too hot, by the way. I'm going to stop the 4K and wait for the glue to cool. Okay, everyone, I'm just going to take a wee break a minute here, get a drink of water. So I'll bring this up close. then we'll just keep her lit for another few sails. So what I done there now is take that sail out. I just straightened that glue. See that bit of glue? It was just a wee bit too thick at this end. The right hand side here. It wasn't even, but it's even now. So that's the next sail. Sail number 5 off string number 8, which is yellow. So the live stream now is running for an hour and a half. That's usually the length I take them to, but I'll continue on here for another minute. So it looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? You have to admit. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching. LOL. The drop off. I have to laugh at them. You have to laugh at them, boys. So this sail here, what I'm going to do with it. So as it sets, I need to push it back. I could do something else. What do we see? Where's my masking tape? You know what? I'm not even going to do that because as it sets, see the way I'm doing that? It moves forward again. About a mil. It's doing that because the glue's still pure runny, obviously. This one's not doing it as much. Let's say I put too much pressure at this point. Good job, my camera's not running. I freaked out there. So if I put too much pressure at this point, these two sails would go this way. So, you know, there's a bit of thought in this, doing this, isn't there? Right, we're going to do the sail now. I'm going to start the 4K. Okay, so sail number 5 now off string 8. We're probably about, what, 75% of the way there. So hopefully this glue has cooled down. It's not too runny. I won't make that mistake again. Right. Rather than trying to get the nozzle in between the two sails, there's a gap of about 7-8 mil. I'm not going to do that. I could do it. I'm going to do it. But it's sometimes easier to do it the other way at times. Pulling it fast at the end. Or quick. And sometimes you want to give it a wee turn. And it makes the bead span out a wee bit. And nice concave effect. So that's perfect. So I'm now ready for sail number 6. I didn't do the other side that one, did I? Look, I didn't. So I have to do that now because made it awkward for myself. At least I can get in, but I don't want to go on my running glue now. See, I rushed ahead of myself there. Ooh. Concentration there. This glue keeps running. I don't want to pull it back too much. I just have to let it run. Right, so that turned out okay. I can make it a wee bit neater by turning the sail. It's okay, so it is. Or is it? Might need to put this on again or something better than that. Well, let's see if I can get something better here. Got something to do with 3D printing, so it's okay, but you know me, it's just one a wee bit neater now. I'm gonna get on with it. Perfect. I got it. I made my life awkward there for a minute, didn't I? I should have had that glued before I put the door seal. It's nice and straight now, is it? I'm getting a look close up here. That's grand, Jeffrey. Right, ready for cell number 6, which is yellow, positive clarity facing out. When the cell is glued, I'm going to place one more into it, then I'm going to stop. So we'll glue, what one will we glue first? I think it'll be easier doing that way first. So say if I push too hard in that cell now, well, it would ruin the glue underneath, wouldn't it? So the cell underneath will go out of position. Perfect, I don't even need a rag on it, I don't think. I'll bring it on close for you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll bring this in close for the last 5 minutes. I'll just have to make my life awkward. We're at an easy part of the pack, so that's why I'm bringing her in close, okay? So there's all the work went into the pack beforehand at the back. I'm going to start her again now and start the 4K. I'm going to reposition that too. Forget how to do this. Right. Okay, so we're getting further up the pack here. Ready for a wee break before I move on to live stream part 9. So just let me check. The cell is glued to both sides. They are. Is the black one? Yes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this. I'm going to run the cell downhill into the cell underneath. That's the round stick. I won't be heating the glue in the future to the temperature that they were at because it's just made everything more awkward. So positive pole facing out here. Nice even bead. Just imagine you're welding with a big welder. I'm going to pull back on this glue because I'm wasting a while out of it. Okay, so turning this cell now down into cell number, what is it? 6 or 7. I have to put my head on here a minute. I'm going to get rid of this here soon. So that's it. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to glue this side and then I'm going to put weight on the pack. You'll see what I mean by that now in 2 seconds. So positive pole facing out. No, shouldn't have pulled back. I've gone wide on that. Right. We're nearly there. I'm just going to strike this because I wasn't thinking there at the last minute. So that's perfect there now. Let me just get a look at this bench. Right, the final thing I need to do here is clean the ends of the cells just to make sure there's not any significant or any type of this glue on the ends of them. So put my finger on them gently. So remember now, going back to these black cells, they were springing out, weren't they? So I'm going to place a couple of more yellows onto this, but I'm going to place, no, you know what? No, I'll do this, but I'll place them the other way around so you know this is the end of the pack. I'm just putting a wee bit of weight on those cells. I'll put this one on here too, and I'll put this on here to support the next cells up. So you should know or should understand what I'm doing there. It's just to squish them few cells in that aren't supported by other cells. And when the glue sets now, when I end this live stream, I'm going to come up during my tea break and just give these last couple a wee tap in, because they are springing back out because of the wrap on the cell. Only a bit of mil, but a mil over this distance, you know what I mean? It all adds up. So I like doing things properly, professionally. So remember, I only need to tap the cells with the positive pole out, because these is only there for weight. Okay everyone, so that is the live stream complete. I'm going to just try and save this glue here. So we've done very well today. Tea time. Okay everyone, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this build of this pack. Things done different. So if you haven't done already, do get a look at the stainless steel capsule that I bought on the channel. This thing. So basically it mimics this bike frame, but the curved tube, the aluminium section, box section, or whatever you want to call it, on the bike is curved. And me doing it this way provides a really adequate, a really good platform, sturdy sort of structure to mimic the bike frame very precisely. So we have string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 complete and 8 started. So string, what I bring this out? Oh, you know what? I'll not bring it out because my hands are glue. So string 1 at the top left there, 10 cells, purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange, and then we have purple, yellow. So I'm starting yellow now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells in position. And so we've got purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow, orange, purple, yellow. Get my drift? So thanks for watching everyone. I really do appreciate it. I might be back later on. We'll see the crack. We'll see how it goes. But this is not the only interesting project on the channel. Do get a look. Thank you and goodbye. Happy New Year. Bye.